Hi, everybody. It's Mark Rushton of markrushtongallery.com. And then, down here too. And it's Sunday, July 2nd, 2023. And I'm going to do something a little bit different in this live video here. And so things are changing. Things are evolving a little bit here. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break from creating new work. And I've got this huge, huge, huge catalog of completed paintings that are in my gallery and are, either sitting in frames or sitting in catalog portfolio files. And it's time to, if I can, every single night, present one of these paintings, talk about it, show it off, and maybe somebody's interested in this or one of my other paintings. Talk about how things came to be, talk about my pricing, which is extremely reasonable for an original work of art. Shockingly affordable, because my feeling is art should be affordable for everybody. You go into some places, you go to art sales or whatever, and things are just insane, absolutely ridiculously high. And I don't know, I kind of feel like everybody should be able to afford a quality piece, framed or unframed. And so this piece here is Augmenting the Neighbor. This is one of my book paintings. I'll talk a little bit about the book paintings. So book paintings started after I got laid off from my previous job. I'd worked for this company for 21 years, and after I got laid off, I, went back in to where my desk was and took a look around, one last time, and on the way out the door, because they were closing the facility in that town, and they had all these books. They had all these books on the way out the door, and most of the books, I'm not really interested in, but they had these little, I guess kind of like 6x9 books, and they were from like the 1970s and 1980s, and they were all about just can you kind of see what's going on in there? It's far out mathematics, and they were just going to get thrown out. No one was going to take them home. No one's going to read this stuff, right? And so I picked up some of these little books and brought them home, and they were kind of damaged, and I thought, what? Let's experiment. Let's play around with this a little bit. So I largely work on paint on watercolor paper or spun bonded olefin, bunch of different substrates. So let's try to paint on the book paper. And so I started painting my sort of style, which is sort of an abstract landscape motif, with a little bit of what I call the Rothko effect, kind of. And so I learned about what it was like to paint either with ink or acrylic paint. And this is both acrylic ink and acrylic paint on this book paper. And book paper is much different than, say, watercolor paper or other substrates out there. It's very sensitive, particularly the stuff from 1970, right? I'll just put it that way, right? So I made must have made at least 50 paintings, and they're out there. They're out there. If you go to markrushtongallery.com and go to, it's kind of broken down into different sections there, and there's a thing called under $100 book paintings. And that's where all the book paintings are. And this is one of them. It's called Augmenting the Neighbor. And I have a link in the description if you want to look a little bit closer at everything, or possibly, take it home, framed or unframed. And let me show you these are the frames that I use. These are the Blick Wood Gallery frames. Been using them for many decades. Love them. But if you decide that you didn't want that frame, you don't have to pay for it. The unframed version does come mounted to cardstock with Tyvek tape. It's got the name down there, kind of a sort of a signature. And it comes with the pre-cut mat. And it will arrive in a little plastic sleeve, and I'll have a little, certificate of authenticity. And I'll send it USPS priority mail at my expense. Well, it's built into the price or whatever. But again, unframed with a mat, under $100. And they're on sale right now. Just all of them. Let's get that out of the plastic here. And back in the frame, because I think it looks best in the frame. Frames are on sale right now, too. So you can buy it. The frame is on sale, as well as the painting. Because when I have a sale, I mean, I have a sale. See, I think I put this in backwards. How's this go? Don't worry. If you buy it framed, I will put it together. It'll have plexiglass too on the front. But I can't have plexiglass during the video because otherwise it'll be shiny, right? So this is great. So the frame is a little bit larger than 8 by 10, just slightly larger than that. The mat is, 10 or 8 by 10. The viewable opening here is 4.5 by 6.5. And it's really, there's people typically buy these, and there's maybe a little spot in the kitchen, by your desk, in a hallway. Have a bunch of these. Going down the hallway. That'd be kind of cool, right? And that's, what is that? Like a cloud and a sunset, possibly? An orange field? And then you got all these words here. What are these? This might be a newer book. It's got quotes from 1996. Well, one of the books that I was using was from the early 1970s. Anyway, I like how you have sort of an abstract landscape, and you also have all these little technicals. It's kind of an interesting thing, right? Maybe I should have done that with famous books that were also damaged, but I wasn't thinking about it at the time. I was actually, when you lose your job after 21 years, you're just trying to think about how to have that next step. And of course, I have a new position now with another company. Great. And, but I made these during my time off with that company, the severance period. And it was good therapy for me, and I think it's a pretty image. My flame orange, love the flame orange. Love how I was able to get that sort of cloudy effect up here on that. So anyway, I don't want this video to be too long. 10 minutes is probably long enough. I'm Mark Rushton. My gallery's at markrushtongallery.com. I got hundreds of paintings out there. I've got, a mailing list you can sign up for, and, send something out about every week. New stuff that's going on, different things. Check it out. Sign up. It's free. Thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow night, hopefully.